to give the talk is very much informed and very much the right person to speak about on how to reach our target market. This person is a founder and the great mind behind the French Baker. And as I have said, I would have wished that this person is a handsome French baker, but he's not. He's a handsome Chinese guy. And this guy started his profession as a professor in the University of the Philippines for Business Administration. This person was awarded one of the 500 great Asians of the 21st century. And he is, besides that being the founder and the CEO of French Baker, he is also the CEO and founder of L'artisan Corporation, Tea Bros Corp, and Quick Bread Corporation. Multi-awarded and talented entrepreneur and marketing expert. Everybody, let's all welcome together Mr. John Lu Koa.
Good morning. The French would say bonjour. Bonjour. I'm so happy to be invited once more because I enjoyed it so much last time. But it took me a while before I said yes. And I was given 1 month to decide, only because I was not sure of my message to you this morning. I told Shell I couldn't say yes, not because I didn't like you or Brother Bo, but because I did not have the framework within which to express my thoughts and my ideas to you. But then again, after a month, I said yes because I had found it. And that it thing is what I will present to you today. Okay? Can I have my slides, please? How to reach your target customer. When I started my business 28 years ago, and when I was still a faculty member of the UP College of Business, I knew that I was up against the biggest names in the QSR, or the quick service restaurant. They're the big brands, global brands in burger, in chicken, etc. And so, thank you. And so, I knew that I could not spend 5 to 7% of sales to reach my target market. Normally, that's what they spend. For every 100 pesos, you spend maybe 3 pesos of sales to 7 pesos to push your brand. In those days, in the 80s, you would have a few billboards. You will have flyers, which they still do in the malls, in SM. You would have sampling, and you would have advertising. In those days, advertising meant paying 150,000 per whole page or X thousands of pesos per minute on radio. Those were the days. So I said, if I were to spend 6 to 8%, 5 to 8% of sales, then I would have nothing much more to invest back in my business, and I would probably just end up with a single store. So I had to come up with a name that is catchy. So it was the French Baker. And being the French Baker, I had to find myself. I had to locate myself in a place that was the in place for many people at that time, which was a mall. And the most ideal was, at that time, SM City North EDSA. Remember, 1989. Traffic was still a bit okay. It took me 20 minutes from Makati to there. It probably takes you 20 minutes from Glorieta to EDSA today. We go through it every day. So it was, for me, a decision in those days to do it the other way, which is not to spend on advertising to reach my market, but to do it differently and work on the other piece of marketing, which is location, where everybody can see you, and non-traditional promotion, which is not to spend on radio, on print, on TV, on billboard. So what did I do? One day I decided to sell at closing time everything on half price. I knew it was a big risk, but nevertheless I did it only because I needed loyal customers to carry my message of freshness. Imagine an hour ago you would pay me, in those days, 20 pesos for a croissant. You bought it at 10. Same thing, we sold whole price an hour ago. It became half price an hour after. So everybody was so happy buying, bringing home, and because it was cheap, they did not mind sharing. And in the process of sharing, they helped me convert customers to French Baker. You wouldn't believe, after 60 days, the lines were so long, not just in the daytime, but also in the nighttime. Dahil ang last full show, 9:30. We close at 9 o'clock. So they buy, then they go to watch a movie, then they bring home everything at half price. Those were the days. Fast forward today. Would I do the same thing? Maybe yes. Maybe I might not be unique. What would I do? And what would I be advising you as startups, would-be entrepreneurs, as people who will have a good idea and who might be drowned out in this new marketing environment? If I were to do it all over again, maybe I will do that, but I would probably be seriously looking at the digital world. I'm not too young anymore, but I hope that I don't look too old. My understanding and my knowledge of digital marketing is a little bit limited by my exposure. But nevertheless, every day I try to learn. And today, I would like to share with you some slides that I borrowed with permission from a company, a media company called Inity Philippines. It's a company that is in the business of online marketing, teaching businesses like us to go digital, teaching businesses or businessmen like you how to access online to sell online, etc. So we got permission. So what we were told is that Filipinos are digitizing very, very quickly. When we say digitizing, it doesn't really mean much except that even our maids and drivers have a cell phone. In the old days, we call it cell phone. Then we called it mobile phone. Then now we call it smartphone. Because all of us realize that we are connected not just to our friends, but we're connected to the businesses we deal with and to the world. We were told that we do not just go online, we live online. Anything, any doubt you have in mind, you say, i-Google ko nga. Can you imagine, i-Google ko muna? Muna? Wow, Google is like the big encyclopedia of the old days. We trust our lives with it, so we live online. Can you imagine if somebody said, wow, the best croissants are made by French Baker because the butter comes from Normandy in France. Hindi butter namin, hindi Australian, French. Well, I may not be French. I hire French consultants. Je parle français. I speak French. Mais pas très bien, but not very well. Enough to buy good butter from France at a better price. Di ba? Di ba may joke? Yung mga friends kong Pinoy, pagputang Chinatown, sinabi, magkano to? Ano sabihin niya, pag Pilipino, watsiya. That's magkano. Pag watsiya, wholesale bibigay. Pag sinabi mo, how much? Pag 10, sasabihin siya 20. And then when you say, ya kuya, ukala niya, in chick na booking na. Sige, gis na lang. Sa France, ganun din. Of course, if you speak their language, they treat you better. Like Filipino, sabihan ka lang na mabuhay. Even if it's mabuhay, okay na rin. Sit down, the water is free. Maybe the massage could be free. Right? So, we make our decisions online, where to book. In the old days, we bought airline tickets through somebody. Today, we're empowered to do it ourselves. And we read all the ratings before we make a decision. We complain online, we praise online, we do everything online. For me, who's already 60 and counting, it's very difficult to live online because we were so used to offline. Offline means you have a secretary who'll say, "Sir, I'll do it for you." Okay. And then you say, "I-register mo nga ako." "Sir, I'll do it for you." And when she's on leave, it's like you don't know how to live your life anymore. Di ba? Hirap na eh for people who are not used to it. But for our kids, it's very easy. "Dad, give me your phone." "Okay. You have your boarding pass." "Wow, what did you do?" My son is probably saying, "This French baker guy, how did he become successful?" You know? But of course, I will say, success is contextual. I did it in my time, and you should do it in your time. But I could do it again. And that's the reason why I kept asking for suppliers or experts to brief me, to tell me what's happening and to update me. Filipinos are digitizing very quickly. Just look at the slide. Out of 110 million, almost 70%. This is really, really a big market for anybody who wants to publicize about himself, for elections, for appointment to positions, for selling anything and everything, to create an image for a product, to espouse an idea, to advocate for change. Hopefully not to destroy governments. And that's the reason why in America, right, there's a big thing with the Russia probe, etc., because the Americans feel that they have been invaded through the cyber world by the Russians. 9 hours we spent. I think a lot of us here will say, "Di tama yan." It's actually 11 hours. Kasi while my boss was not looking, I was checking on my email, 11. Average time spent in accessing internet, 9 hours, etc., etc. Look at that. We even watch TV on our phones. Stuck in traffic, that's why there's no revolution yet, because when we're in traffic, we'd say, "Oh, tamang-tama, I can finish my Netflix." Di ba? Because you just subscribe once, you can get it on your phone, on your TV, at home, etc. So this is mind-boggling. We live online. Saan tayo kakain? Sandali, check ko muna yung TripAdvisor. Saan tayo manonood ng sine? Sandali, check ko muna yung SM theater online, etc. Are there still tickets for the show? Let me check. And then what's the price? So can you imagine if you're the seller, you're not online? You're not part of their choices. You're not part of their how do you call this? Their basket of choices. right? And so, there are so many things we do online now. Online is anything that is in the digital space. You chat online, you thank online, you greet online. Hindi na yata uso yung Hallmark cards. Kasi by the time it reaches them in America, tapos na yung Pasko. Di ba? And by the time you remember to write your aunts and uncles in America, yung midnight mass na. By the time you remember to post it in the post office, mag-New Year na. So even that, we change the way we greet people. Content marketing. You want to learn about a new product, a new gadget, a new appliance. Before you buy a refrigerator, check what's the efficiency, what did people say. So we live in a world where all the information is in our fingertips. We message each other. We try to be human by being in touch, by showing our faces on Facebook. I think Facebook is the most, in my opinion, the most useful platform where all of our friends meet us online without meeting us personally. And it's easier to stay friends like that. Like when you meet your friends and say, "What happened to your son 3 years ago? Did he finish already? Is he a doctor? Did he pass?" Because you said, "Congratulations, son. I love you very much. From the earth and the star to the moon and back." And then when you see it, say, "Oh, kumusta na yung anak niyo?" "Oh, nag-ano na. Summa cum laude na." Ganun. "Oh, yeah, nice." At least, there's the human touch. Otherwise, you'd say, "Grabe, I have not seen you in 15 years. 15 years went by that fast. So, everybody knows, those who are above 50 would probably struggle a little bit to understand what all of these terms are. You can always Google and find out. What's a webinar? It's a web seminar. Okay. What's a UDID? I just met that word a while ago. Nag-Google ako kasi may UDID. Ano ba yan? Some device for family planning? Hindi na pala. It's a unique something identification. Hindi pala yung IUD. If you were married in the 60s, that was the thing. Today, it starts with a C. Yeah. I do this too. All of us do that. Before you buy anything, before. So I'm going to Athens next week. The first thing I did was tourist spots in Athens. And then nice hotels in Athens. And then you'll have all of these advisory and people complaining about the room. Then we read somewhere that 4 stars nga, ninakawan naman siya. Nung nag-complain siya, sabi naman ng pulis, wala ka namang magawa kasi wala namang witness. Maybe you stole from yourself. And you're trying to pay back your room by reporting a crime and asking the hotel to reimburse you. So galit na galit yung nag-react. I'll never stay in this place again. The hotel might be nice, but the security sucks, whatever. So, as a Pinoy would say, sigurista tayo eh. First time to Athens. Maybe, even if the rate is cheap, move to another hotel. So we make our decisions there. Is it the fault of the hotelier? Maybe not. Maybe the one who gave that comment was not honest. Baka fake. Baka may-ari ng Kalaban Hotel. Diba? Sometimes when people put online, there is a piece of paper on my plate. So what's the big deal? It's just paper. A shred. You did not ingest it. Thank God God gave us tongue to sense that some foreign object is there. We don't swallow it. Yikes! I saw a tiny cockroach there. Welcome home. Haven't you seen a cockroach? That was a joke in the 70s. Somebody daw complained to our national airline. Miss, did you see? There's a cockroach there in the carpet. I welcome home po. We're touching down soon. Wala sa Amerika daw yung cockroach. Kasi lahat pinapatay. In the process of bygone, pati tao namamatay. Anyway, joke of the 70s. But today, our airline is now already world-class, thanks to the owners. If you go online, 10% get converted. So you go, French baker, I want to dine there. 1 out of 10. However, they go online, sarap naman ng croissant. Sarap naman ng ganon, chicken na la king. Then pagpunta ng mall, chicken na naman. Pizza na naman. French baker na lang. Kasi may promo eh. Di ba? Tapos, senior citizen pa. Kunyari, good ang appetite. Akin yan lahat. Di ba, Abby? Sabihin natin, go easy. Anyway, we're not too strict about it. Abby, next please. So it happens. There's one thing I want to leave with you, is the marketing funnel. I think a lot of you probably would have heard, those in sales and marketing. This is the marketing funnel, or the purchase decision funneling. Is a very basic principle or basic concept that marketing schools or business schools teach. No, it just tells you that this is the process by which a customer gets converted from knowing about you to buying your product and repeating the purchase all over again. And in some cases, when they're happy, they actually advocate or they share their discovery about how good you are. They convert other people for you. For example, Facebook post. Wow, this restaurant has 4-stage water filtration system. Ang sarap ng tubig. Mas masarap ang kape. 95 lang. Chik, French baker, Baguio. Di ba? Di ba? So they help you spread your message because they feel good. But the first step is awareness. So to reach your target market, how do you make them aware that you exist, your product exists, your service exists? In a very, very noisy world, offline, for example, how do you make a person walk to a French baker store? Or by the way, I also own L'Artisan chain of boulangerie traditionnelle française. Bakery, restaurant, French. Yan ang literal. Boulangerie, ang ganda na. Chapelle français. That's why I want to learn. I learned French because it sounds so masarap eh. Yeah. Bienvenue, mademoiselle. Comment ça va? J'ai une... Oops. Masarap yung mga pagkain namin. Pa-impress. And you have to do that. So, the purchasing, the awareness thing is the most difficult part. How do you stand out? How do you tell people, offline and online? Then the interest is you draw them to your brand because of certain benefits. Diba? Why go to a spa? Why go to a bakery? And bakeries, why go to French baker, not my competition? And in Baguio, why go to French baker and not 60 other restaurants? Why go to this church and not that church? Why go to this school and not that school? Now, before you're part of the choice, make sure naman somebody knows who you are. Oh, there are 6 churches in this area. There are 55 schools that your children can get to. Awareness creates the potential for your product to be considered. Interest, if you have some benefits, they should know. Otherwise, they won't choose you. French baker, sila ba yung may 100% whole grain bread? Twice the price, half the size ng mga tinapay sa supermarket. Kasi may nagreklamo sa akin Mr. Koha, bakit 155 yung whole grain nyo? Ang mahal, samantalang yung 65 lang. Sabi ko, kasi whole grain bread. We're half the size, but twice the price because you get the whole grain inside this bread. Ibig sabihin, whole wheat na puro, 100%. The bran, the wheat germ, and all, they're in that bread. Okay. Still buy up to today. So, kasi pag tinimbang mo, talagang ganun Parang boom, ang bigat no? Desire. Siyempre, people when they see, when they know you exist, you have the interest, and they would like to say, this product will make me comfortable, happy. Diba? Among ladies, I know happiness is something you carry with you every day, like a bag, cosmetic, your hair, your shoe, your accessory, your nice, beautiful watch, and maybe a good friend, happiness. So, they will desire you if you can have a benefit. Example, hindi, French baker ako. Talaga, mas kinasaan, French baker. Kasi yung soup on the bread bowl, kakainin ko muna yung soup. Kakainin ko yung takip. Kakainin ko yung laman loob. Tapos ite-take home ko pa yung soup bowl. Pakakainin ko yung aso ko. Di ba? Grabe, sulit. 120 pesos lang. Soup on a bread bowl. Sometimes clam chowder, if we are generous. Other times, it's just a bacon and pasta. Many times, it would be chicken and corn. I'm sure you know that. People go there for soup on bread bowl. Desire. And then action. Nandito na tayo Huwag ka nang pumunta bumili ka na ng jam, ate. Nandito na tayo sa Good Shepherd. Nandito na sa Baguio. Bumili ka na ng jam. Don't waste that opportunity because it is so fresh. The sisters there told me the jam sells so quickly. The average life on the shelf is probably 48 hours. And the last time I was there, you can only buy one of each. Sabi ko nga, okay itong business na ito, one of each. So I tried making jam. And then, I realized when I made the jam, sabi ko, wow, I don't want to be a sister to make the jam. Kasi, sabi ko at first, isang boteng jam, ay nako, 200 grams lang na Baguio strawberry. So I weighed 200 grams, I crushed it. Oh my gosh. 300 grams, oh my gosh. In the end, you have to use 400 grams to make one bottle. And when I computed, I said, grabe. If you were to buy fresh strawberries to make the jam, you'll be out of business soon. You cannot sell it at the prices the sisters sold. So that's not my cup of tea. That's why I'm saying, andiyan ka na, bumili ka na, huwag ka pa mag-isip na you will make yourself because cheaper. Entrepreneurs always want to do it themselves because there are economies of scale, di ba? Like I would tell my children, teriyaki chicken, I'll cook for you. Fried chicken, I will cook for you. Steak, I will cook for you. So one day my children say, Mommy, let's eat in. I know what will Daddy say. He can cook for us. Kasi I will say. And then one day, I told my son, I said, oh, Jonard, easy. Look. Oh, teriyaki chicken, easy. Oh, 1 part mirin. 1 part sake, half part sugar. Oh, 1 part toyo, a little ginger or garlic. You have your teriyaki sauce. Hindi naman, daddy naman. You just cook it. Oh my gosh, so good. It was so good. Say, wow, daddy, we can open a Japanese restaurant. I said, no, I just want you to know that you don't have to spend money to enjoy your food. Anyway, that's not part of this one. Cut. So, you tell your children when they say, Daddy, Mommy, let's eat sabihin mo na lang, you go online and get the recipe. Because the French baker taught me how to cook. Diba? It's so easy. So awareness, interest, desire, action. The AIDA funnel tells you what to do, how to do it. You can research more. The whole idea is how to be part of that whole set of possibilities. Bread, kailangan French baker. Mall, super mall. Spa. I met 2 ladies while I was rehearsing my thing. Bioessence, no? Franchisee, happy and pretty. Okay, profitable. So, the bottom line is you want them to repeat, to become your customers over and over again. Then we have some of those contents you find online. So, the one who briefed me told me in the Philippines, this is what you see. There are social platforms that tell you like Facebook, Connect, YouTube, watch this, watch that, demo tape, Instagram, Twitter. And then ngayon, mga WhatsApp, Viber group, chat groups. Before you talk to one-on-one, now you talk one to many. And you can even talk to one to a big community. No? Content, you go, mahal na rin ang dyaryo, di ba? 25. It might be only 25 pesos. But in a month's time, it comes up to be more than 700 pesos. So you just go philstar.com, Manila Times, inquire. You go to get content. You go to read for free and be informed. Search engines, Yahoo, Google. Everybody in the Philippines seem to go Google. Search is to search anything, right? Search. The best croissant in the Philippines. Actually, the best croissant, lalabas tayo eh. The French baker. You know why? Because when you search, they assume, they already know you're searching from the Philippines. Lalabas kami doon. French bakery, first kami lalabas. Pak, the French baker, outlets, etc. And I'll tell you why later. Messaging and partners. Partners, ito yung mga delivery. Zomato is for rating reservation, which we use as well. Bookie is for booking reservation with a discount, I think. Okay? Traditionally, what happened in the past? I was 30 years old, 31. At that time, still teaching in UP. Then when I was creating such a stir among the local media community, this was the first PR that was given to me. Traditionally, look at the date, October 1989. 2 weeks after we opened our first store. That was me. They call it pa. Pa is bread. Pan. Okay. When it comes to bread, etc., COA is selling like, well, whatever. Cannot really see well. Hot, blah, blah. Hot cakes, yeah, can see from this. That was me. That was our first store. This was a PR release in Philippine Airlines, Mabuhay Magazine. Then, somebody suggested I should write my own column, but today it could be a blog. In the old days, it's called a column. Balikan mo nga si Bake My Day. Bread Notes from Europe. because I was able to save some money to be able to travel every year in those days. Now I travel twice to Europe. And so, Bake My Day, all the issues about baking I talk about. How to be a better baker, what did I see from Europe. So I was trying to earn for myself the reputation as the bread authority when I started, because nobody else was doing it. Then I became emerging master entrepreneur, Ernst & Young, for example. Then I opened L'Artisan. This is like a Henny season column. Then I was in the Inquirer. They put me out. Oh, I really did that. Balikan mo nga, Abby. I just want to show everyone. I really did this. Hindi ghost pastry man. Ako yun. So beautiful. And then they featured me here and there. We turned 25 3 years ago. Sige nga, please. Johnny Litton. Then we raffled 4 business class tickets. And then now we try to do it online. You can see the shift, no? So offline, online. Manila Times, this was a write-up for me and my brother. Then, I can be better than anybody else. Ang yabang, grabe. Yabang naman. They wrote about me. Another one. Now, people love recipes. So if you want to connect with them, just share your recipe. However simple, they will save it. On the packaging, recipe on the notebook, on a fan, on a piece of paper, on our placemat. And this is a demo I did in Mega Mall some years back, where we shared like 15 recipes. And then the bloggers were invited to write about us. This is another one. We invited them to the French Baker's Salon. Then I guest online. I'm sorry, I guested on ANC. This must be Shop Talk. I think I've been there more than 3 times. Under promise, over deliver in anything you do. This was another PR release when we opened the French Baker in Davao City. The Paris trip promo. Sige, Abby, let's go fast. Then sige. So these are online engagements that now we know that people are reading less and less of print and going more and more on digital. So we had to switch. And tell you honestly, we're putting more and more budget into digital, in the production of digital campaigns that look innocuous, look friendly, but in my opinion, it's a better positioning tool if you wanted to be heard or seen very reasonably priced in the digital world. These are, to end my short speech, not so short speech, I have prepared 3 promotional videos for you to see how we are repositioning our brand to meet today's young people, not so young people, and how we are adding more shelf life, or we're adding more value to people who are choosing to visit us or not to visit us. And then right now, we could now geo-target the people who we want to show this to via Facebook sponsored ads. Let's say, for example, this one, Abby, this one is, I think, Davao. So we spent roughly 40,000 pesos only to show this to Davao and the key cities around Davao City. Let's take a look. Thank you. Okay, stop. So this ad was created to announce to everyone that we're here. We're here after so many years of not being there. Because we've always been with SM. And so every time they go to an SM mall, they'll ask the guard, saan ba yung French baker dito? Sir, wala pa po. Dahil I almost went to Davao in the 90s, but because of one incident, I did not. There was a bombing in the 90s. And then my mom said, is it that difficult to make money that you have to travel so far? Oh, yeah, no? Tama ka, ma, no? Yeah, you're right. Dito na lang sa Maynila. And then 5 years ago, we went to Davao, pre-President Duterte, because SM wanted me to support them. And of course, when I went to Davao, I said, why Davao? Why Mindanao? Pero Cebu, I was there in the 90s. That was the age of Shibum. I'm sure you knew about it. Those who are now 50-ish, 60-ish, Shibum. Diba? Remember Shibum? FBR days. So going to Cebu was no-brainer. Go. And then Davao was like, ang layo, ang mahal pa ng airfare, ang mahal magpadala ng cargo. But nevertheless, I went there because I had to support Shoemart. They opened the most beautiful, the most lavish, the most... In other words, it's like Mall of Asia down there. And then 3 years ago, thank God, somebody from Davao became president. And now we're soaking up all the demand because a lot of investors go there. They buy land, they build, they send their managers, they build their cold room, their logistics facility. Then we decided to put up store number 3 in 5 years. And so when we put up store number 3, we did not want people to think that we're just like the old French baker. We wanted to give the message that in the store number 3, this is something different. Come take a look. So we spent money on the key city to say that in an old mall, and this is in the old mall called Ecoland, the first mall of Shoemart that was built in the year 1998, 99, thereabouts. There is something interesting. And so this was launched. If you look at the stats, 68,000 views in a very short time. Comments, 80 shares. It comes up to be about 20 cents. 20 cents per view, which is really cheap. 20 cents lang. This one goes to our mobile. Immediately, we see it. Then, we are aware immediately. Then, interest is, anong gimmick natin mamaya, bukas, mamayang hapon, di ba, pa-eco lang tayo. Then, gugutunin naman tayo, desire. And then, nandito na, ang sarap po. And then, we have live oven baking action. So, na-aida namin silang lahat. First 2 months, SRO. Like, you have to stand in line to sit. That's a good problem. Something like that. So, with that, we did a second one, Abby, and I'll show you and I'll tell you what happened. Walang audio. Can I ask you? No, well, the answer is there. This one is very unique because it used to be cherry, And then it became SM. How many of you would know Cherry Congressional in the old days? It was opened, di ba? Year 2000. You live there, Mama, no? So we had a unique problem because we were shut down for almost a year. Actually, na-dengoy ako dun eh. What's the recent term for dengoy? Anyway, I was deceived. Tama? So the owners asked me, oh, you want to renovate? Yeah. Grabe, after renovating, in just few months, they sold the business to SM. And I said, what happened? Just shut down. Then closed for 1 year. And so we had a unique problem here. Why will people come back when they were here before for Cherry, not for SM? And the second problem also is, how do we help them convince the people around Congressional that we are worth coming back for? Di ba? Kasi alam nila, hindi naman Cherry, hindi naman tunay na Cherry yun eh. Cherry na SM. So may duda. So we created this ad to show them the benefits. Di ba? So you saw dining, you saw coffee, tea, you saw baking, you saw a lot of things. It's very interesting. And in a new place called Cherry Congressional with a .sm. Nakalito yun eh, di ba? So it's worth taking a look, right? And I'll tell you that we are the best performing restaurant bakery until now. In spite of the K and the J and the whatever, the P's, the whatever. Okay, and then let's look at the last one. This one, I'm very proud. Okay, take a look. This is very fresh. Is that it? Nasaan yung last page? Abi, nawala na si Now Baking, SMCT, etc. Anyways, it should have a closing. Ayan, yan. Di ba? See? We use a drone to take the aerial photo, etc., etc. The agency, I mean, is the drone. Anyway, why did we do this? So we rushed this, not really for this, anyway. Because it was panagbenga, whatever, I can get it right. So we thought that, and then it's going to be summer, and then we just opened last December 17. So we wanted to create a positioning strategy to tell everybody else that there is Starbucks, yes, we have authentic Italian coffee. We wanted to show them that we are so much more than them. First, you will see the location. We're all there. This is the most hotly contested marketplace in Baguio. So we wanted to create awareness and at the same time, interest. What? You had, can you visualize? You saw a grill, then you saw a coffee altar, then you saw authentic Italian coffee, then you saw something cold with ice, then something hot, and breads coming out of the oven, and 2 sizzling plates, right? And then, of course, the iconic SM logo. And of course, the lion head, the flowers, this and that. So it's Baguio. Then you saw strawberries, right? So Baguio, strawberries, fresh. Oh, by the way, we sell very good fresh strawberry shake, milkshake, made out of 10 to 12 strawberries per order. So if you're a strawberry lover, that's where you go. So we had to do this to position the French Baker there as a worthy place to meet, to greet, and to enjoy coffee, and to have your meals, and to do your digital thing, and to do everything else. This so far is the best performing store in the system based on per square meter. It's so jam-packed full only because the location is fantastic. We are across the supermarket in SM. So where a lot of people go anyway. And then we're just at the end of Session Road, uphill, because everybody turns right into SM when they go up. So ladies and gentlemen, there are many ways to reach your target market. For doctors, for spa, for supermarkets, for whatever. There are many ways. I don't think somebody can dictate to you which one way is the right way. Many times, everything has to be done within the context of your own expertise. I like this. We're spending more and more on these kinds of short videos because I realize that for an almost 30-year-old brand, if we don't go digital, then we will have been lost in the brick and mortar. Offline, we're there. Online, we're not there. Offline, when you go to the mall, sa mall naman, matirang matibay. Kung nandyan pa yung store, tibay yung brand. That's why a lot of new restaurants come in, close after 6 months, 1 year, they disappear. They come in, they disappear. They come in, they disappear. And the problem there is that if you're just a single store chain, like one store, people don't know you. So your chance of surviving is really to work on the brand image, the product positioning, what you sell, why you're better, etc. here, and let the imagination take its course. The viewers will just imagine what you are. In today's marketing environment, in my opinion, you have better chance of surviving. In the old days, the ones I showed you, I had to hire a PR agent. A PR agent is the go-between between me and the media person or the media publication. She has to find out what they need. I have to create the content for their magazine, newspaper, etc. It's very difficult. Today, we just pay very minimally, create the content, and go. In fact, one of the consultants already told me, Mr. Kowa, after writing 10 years in a magazine called Baking Press of Inquirer Group, sabi, why don't you just use that as your platform and talk about baking? Because everything you put online will stay online, and everything that you mention will be quoted, will be searched by Google anyway. So that's another thing that I'm thinking about. Of course, nothing is to stop you from blogging your own thing and making you famous for something. Is it about health, skincare, vitamins, whatever? In my case, we believe that digital is the only way to survive this business. As more and more young people come in, they're looking for not just the product, but what the product stands for. I had to search all over the world for a very good brand of coffee, such as Piaceto. I don't know if you saw the Italian Piaceto. In fact, when we launched this about 4 or 5 years ago, our sales zoomed. And the same ad will be presented in Cyprus, in Greece, in Cyprus, a week from now. I'll be presenting this from the Philippines. They want to know, how did you achieve exponential growth? And so these are my materials that I'll bring to represent the Philippines. There will be 65 countries there, distributors from all over the world, meeting in Cyprus and sharing best practices. And the company chose this material and asked me to present. So, quite happy about it. Anyway, thank you for your time, and I hope you learned something from me.